Okay, everybody, this is Brandon from Galaxydoc Market. This is my weekend look ahead for the coming week for March 10th to 17th, 2025. There's a lot to talk about. It's about 10:31 a.m. As I make this time. Remember, daylight savings time is in full effect, so if you haven't turned back your clock, you're going to be in for a surprise, especially if you don't do it and it affects you for the stock market opening. The title is Stock Market Crash, Crisis, and you see the dollar behind that. We'll delve more into why that is important. All the check marks are in place for a stock market crash, and I'm going to show you why you should ignore the Friday closes have been very similar in the closes over the last couple of weeks, the way the market's closed, even on a daily basis. Here's the disclaimer. Pause it, read it. If you agree, please move forward. And of course, a lot of activity on X.com, stuff that I can't post really on YouTube, but a lot of information, a lot of real news that's being disseminated in that arena. And of course, black swans are everywhere. And what I've been saying is watch the US dollar. Weakness continues. We broke below 104.50, and that is the danger zone. Iran nuclear standoff. Trump is adamant about Iran abandoning its nuclear arsenal. I don't think they're going to go away very quietly. It is their existential priority for Iran, and so watch there. Ukraine, as if Ukraine and Russia wasn't bad enough, there's stuff happening in Iran and of course in Syria with purported things going on against opposing sides. I'm just gonna stop it right there, okay? And then of course the trade wars with Canada, EU, and China joining in against Canada. Oh my. But these are all warning signs. But main thing is this US dollar weakness. And we need to continue to watch. The market has been coming down. Everybody's calling for a bottom. And you know what? In a bear market, in a stock market crash, is guess what? The dip buyers become the fuel for the bears. Okay, so Ukraine war is continuing, and I'll probably get in trouble for posting this, but war is a racket. What do I mean by that? As Ukraine wants more and more money for the war, Ukraine's richest man was just revealed as the mystery buyer who scooped up the French villa for $221 million last year. So it goes to tell you that the misappropriation of funds that I've talked about in Ukraine, and then, apart from the fact that Russia invaded Ukraine and all these other good stuff, there's more to it than meets the eyes. And I will leave it at that. I think there's a lot of corruption there, and USAID has already uncovered a lot of taxpayer money, in addition to the $350 billion that's been going to Ukraine and other places that have been misappropriated. Okay, so yes, I don't think there's good stuff going on there. Not just from the standpoint of the war. I feel sorry for the Ukrainian people. I think the regime that are running it is corrupt. Now, French people have had it. Okay, so this is what's going on. Do Europeans really want war in Ukraine? So what the mainstream media may show you is that there is solidarity and that Russia bad, Ukraine good, America bad, siding with Russia, etc. You got to look at what's actually going that may not be being reported by the mainstream media, and that is the French citizens are protesting in Paris today against any further military action as Macron continues to push the World War III drumbeat. Okay? And then, of course, here is President Trump. Here's what I want you to say. He's asking us to give us a few months to get through to September. It's March right now. And he's saying that there's going to be some pain as the country gets its financial house in order. Okay, and he's blaming all the stuff on Democrats to shut down our government. We can't let that happen because of the impasse on the bill. Okay, Trump here, whether you like it or not, is trying to at least create solutions so that the country will emerge from its bankrupt state. We are bankrupt, folks. Okay, And so what he's saying, though, he's asking for financial house in order. Few months to get through what to September. So what does that mean? Few months, and basically talking about even though great things are coming, give us few months, and that is saying that the pain is on its way with all the tariffs and everything else that's happening as we try to reset this country away from shenanigans from the Federal Reserve Bank. I think Federal Reserve Bank has completely either lost control or have done this on purpose, but it's backfiring on them at the moment. Okay, here's the BRICS news. I posted this. $1.5 trillion Deutsche Bank. I hate this bank, and I think when the time comes, the dollar is crumbling and the 10-year yield begins to rise again. Warns that the U.S. dollar is at risk of losing its dominance. I don't think U.S. dollar had its dominance ever since the Saudis decided to trade oil, not in U.S. dollars, but in rubles and EU, whatever it is that they're trading in. And this is the central thesis of everything that's going on. U.S. will try to hold on to U.S. dollar reserve currency dominance. But I think that boat has sailed, and I think Trump administration knows that, and this is why we're talking about the gold reserve, sovereign funds. United States is setting up for bankruptcy, okay? A Chapter 11 style bankruptcy. If you don't know that, we are looking at all the assets, including Panama Canal, trying to bring in Greenland, and a lot of that is national security also, I believe. However, if you look at what Trump is doing, we are setting up for debt default. And if you look at what the Fed has been trying to do last week, trying to rescue that 10-year yield because that's all that matters to them. However, in this particular case, U.S. dollar is at risk of losing dominance, and now the mainstream media is beginning to pipe in, right? And if loses its U.S. dollar dominance, stock market crash is coming, and I will show you evidence of that on this video. And then, of course, they had the Nothing Burger Crypto Summit. I think a lot of XRP and Bitcoin maxis were basically hoping to hear something great out of it. But I think if you look at it, the fact that it's even made it into a roundtable with the president, with all these leaders, and you can watch the video. I think that's achievement enough. I think people that are looking for overnight, flip of the switch moment, and that will come. It's just not right now. There's just not any type of crisis that people are scared to death about. Trust me, if and when XRP goes to where a lot of people are saying to, 50, 500, 2,000, 10,000, 100,000, there's all kinds of speculation out there, right? Until that noise dies down and until there is a real tangible crisis in which XRP can be used as a global reserve currency and liquidity provider, nothing's going to happen, folks. But these are steps that are important that needs to happen. One thing I will talk to you about is that later on in this video is the body language of Michael Saylor, who has bet the entire farm of his MicroStrategy in building Bitcoin. And he, I think, was very, very disappointed. And I'm telling you, this guy has done this in 1999 in December during the dot-com era. I'm telling you that what he's doing with MicroStrategy is going to backfire on him. Okay, and we'll talk more about that stock. Okay, so they're talking about, I talked about what changed. That was the most boring and nothing burger ever. And yet Tax is talking about this guy right here. The crypto summit changed in a closed door meeting. Okay. And whatever that means, speculation, we want to see action and results. But this crypto summit was a nothing burger, and henceforth, the cryptos are taking it on the chin. But that is not only because of this, it's because all assets are being sold, and cryptos are telling you there's some major pain coming when the bell rings on Monday the 10th. Okay. So let's look at the market technicals. Okay. And fear and greed. Boy, oh boy. I mean, we're still near the top. I know we sold off a little bit, and I'll tell you what, this is just getting started, and it's not going to go down in a straight line. You got to learn to short the rips. Okay, and we've been doing that, and we'll share some of the stuff that we've done, but we are at extreme fear level here, okay, at 20. All right. And so usually this is a bottoming signal for the most part, but it is divergent with where the market is. And so where are we in terms of the market? And this is my SPY monthly long-term uptrend line, and we have just tagged these. And everybody was getting impatient, telling me that I'm full of crap. I'm telling you, once these chop around here, we're gonna get a mother of all crashes. I mean, back in 2008, we had about 4 or 5 months of doing that, and then so we are in that requisite 4 or 5 months, and then all hell broke loose. Did it go down in a straight line? No, we had these recovery attempts, and those are the ones that you want to embrace. And for those of you bulls that are buying the dips, I'm saying that we're going to go to a SPY at 700. I mean, I've got news for you. Maybe later, if Trump ever gets all of his economic plans in place and it actually works, I'm not sure right now. I'll tell you if it's working or not. But right now, he's setting us up for bankruptcy. And what do you think is going to happen? The Fed, which has been using its proxies to support the market with printed money that doesn't exist, are going to defend 10-year Treasury Yield. That is their baby. The U.S. And the stock market basically can be sacrificed trying to support it. I believe that TNX rescue that has tried to occur over the last 2 weeks has failed. We'll go over that in a bit. This is kind of what I use for cycle analysis, and I am telling you right now that you do not have to. This is a daily chart, obviously. The daily closes over the last few weeks has been a attempted recovery at the close, followed by sharp sell-offs like this. And so everyone's saying, oh, we bottomed. Here's a 200-day moving average. Oh my gosh, we're going to buy the dips. But these dip buyers are exactly the ones that are basically going to get disappointed. In the bear market, you have to know where the levels are. All right, and to know when to short those rips. Okay, and that is coming. These are not bullish signs. We have been going straight down. My cycle analysis, obviously, from about like a 6-week cycles. We are in a downturn cycle now. Okay, as this turns down, as we hit these bottoms, we tend to move higher. Okay, we are not there yet. Once this completes that cycle, probably I think we have about 2 to 3 weeks of the sell-off, and I think we're going much, much below, and we'll talk more about that on the SPY. But this is my cycle analysis, and this is how I measure time. All right, so we're talking about the U.S. dollar. I've been saying for a long time that 104.50 is the line in the sand, and of course that escalated quickly here. And for me, all the check marks are in place for a sharp crash in the stock market, and it is near. Okay, we've been, for the most effect, I mean, we're not 100%. I think we're batting about 75% accuracy rate, and we are hitting our trades, and the trades that we are hitting are above 25 to 100x in trades, and we'll go over that in a bit. Regardless, the U.S. dollar is critical. Okay, the United States cares nothing more than the U.S. dollar. Fed only cares about the 10-year yield. And President Trump is telling you right now that don't look at the stock market. Stock markets, if they fall, it's the globalist fault. So he's already diverted that blame, and I don't blame him. Stock market has been rigged. And, we really don't have a real mark-to-market price discovery system. All right. And however, we are at this critical level. Everyone thinks we're going to bounce. This is the mechanics of a bear market. Okay, the dip buyers who are accustomed to getting rewarded on the dip buying are going to become fuel for the bears as we decline in the beginning of the day, and they will try to recover the last hour. So the U.S. dollar, however, we need to look at is that we are firmly below 104.50. We're at 103.78. That's where we closed. All the metrics are telling us that dollar is losing its dominance. Lower dollar. This is why I'm bullish on gold and silver and on the cryptos. Although cryptos are under pressure because of that crypto summit, but it's also telling you that there's more downside coming. Cryptos will follow the stock markets. All right. So watch this U.S. dollar. We're below 103.50. I think we're going much, much lower, as you can see by my volatility boxes, or the destination boxes, as I like to call them. All right. And then VIX, okay. As a lot of you are saying, hey, look, the VIX is pulling back. Guys, we're at 23.48. A few weeks ago, we were at 14.81. I told you that was the bottom. That's where we should be getting it. But the market has been basically stair-stepping higher. As it hits new highs, it pulls right back, find support, and it's usually a 2 or 3 bar scenario. We're moving higher, folks, and VIX is going. It's going to take out that 25, and last week it hit the highs of 26.88. We're going much higher. We're talking about 35, 45, 60, 70, depending on how fast this market falls, and we are in that scenario. McClellan Summation Index, folks, we're coming down. We have basically been chopping around as we enter these areas, okay, and we're going lower. Okay, MSI, McClellan Summation Index, continues to signal downward pressure, and the markets are following. All right, let's look at the put-to-call ratios, and there is divergence from the equity put-to-call ratio up here, and from the indexes. CPCI, down here is the index. What you'll notice is that there is continual downward pressure followed by pops, whereas the index put-to-call ratio is signaling 1.23, which is bearish. But if you look at the equities, 0.0570. Why is this happening? And this is very, very bearish if you look at it. It's because it's showing that the market makers, the powers that be, the bankers and the big boys are hedging for a market crash. All right. The reason why equity put-to-call ratio is so low and why there's a lot of call buying is those are hedging effects, but also because there is flight into a perceived safe stocks right now. And if you look at things, as we talked about, all right, there are migration into defensive sectors right now. Okay, so we talked about the 10-year Treasury yield, and this is pretty much what is happening. Basically, we bottomed on Tuesday, and I said that Fed probably cannot break this 41, and they could not, and we're moving higher. And these are pretty bullish bars, and we finished above the 80 MA. We're going to target the 20 SMA next week, and then this is the line in the sand, this red line right here. If TNX breaks above there, we're going to have continuous fear in the eyes, looking at Satan's eyeballs type of sell-off, okay? But that's going to create finally an opportunity for a major bounce, and that's when you buy the dip, okay? This is bad for the banks, folks. Fed is losing their control and narrative, and I think Trump is basically showing you exactly what that is. Okay. Now, here's the thing. A lot of you are saying, oh, gold, look at this. It's pulling back. And I said, no, it's going to pull back to the 8 EMA. It's going to find support. So we're making this little triangle. I think we are, on the RSI, it's building momentum much higher. We're ready to break out. Gold is simply building energy to move higher, and with the current US dollar situation, as US dollar weakens, gold is going to break out. And Trump is talking about gold reserves, and I believe the new monetary system will be backed by the XRP, with Treasury being backed by gold. Okay, after all the excess has been taken out. Now let's look at silver. Same thing on silver, right? We have bullish RSI divergence. I mean, I know we're chopping around in between these two levels, and we are in a sideways consolidation. But guys, if you look at this realistically, it's basically a bull flag, right into here. And here's the flag. We're breaking out higher, okay? And as the dollar weakens and 10-year yield gets bad, and the war rhetorics continue, and more of the shenanigans come in. I mean, we're talking about Tesla shops because Elon's doing Doge, the leftist, and I believe it's Soros-funded people. I mean, I don't know why they don't just go after Soros himself. Whether you agree with me or not on that, there is no reason for violence, and it's always the left creating violence, folks. All right, I'm going to stop it at that because I think I'm being shadow banned in YouTube. Okay, so silver is building energy to break out. Okay, there's still time, folks. When silver breaks out, it's going to melt faces. And I'm talking about overnight. It's going to go over into the 60, 80, maybe into the hundreds. Okay, the world is not a stable place. Okay. Let's look at the SPY. This is basically what we look at for the equal and unweighted. This is the normal, and this is the equal weighted. And you can see that the rate of decline is much steeper than the one at equal weighted, and that's fine. But if you take everything under equal weighted, but why is this happening? Okay, why is the equal weighted lagging a little bit, slowing down while the regular index is accelerating? Why is that happening? It's because in the S&P 500 there are a lot of basket of stocks that are considered defensive, and that's where money is flowing into. But on the non-equally weighted, okay, the bigger stocks, things like Nvidia, things like well, not Apple yet, but I think Apple's gonna fall. We'll talk about that when we get there. Okay, but I need to let you know that this acceleration in the non-weighted, remember before it was going higher as the equal weighted kind of diverged. There's no divergence here. It's just a little bit slower. Is indicating a bigger move coming in the future. Let's look at since the geniuses at the Fed, which by the way is not a government bank. It's a for-profit foreign bank. Okay, that somehow has used their power to print money from the Treasury and to issue bonds. I don't know how that works, but I think Trump is trying to fight that. There's a cosmic battle between going with Trump's new monetary system versus the Fed, which is the old guard. These are the deep state, folks. All right. So basically, last week I said if S&P 500 breaks this level, we're going much, much further. We are coming up right into that top end of that inflection point. All of this is the hype from the Fed will save the day with interest rate cuts. None of the interest rate cuts have come, right? Look at what they're doing. Look at what Fed is doing. Okay, they have lost all credibility. Can we have a reaction around 560? Yeah, I mean, we're just going to short those rips. But look at this downside target down here. Okay, if we lose 569, intermediate support at 569.89, okay, this is where this is. All right. Look out below. All right. And there is a lot of unfinished auctions and businesses that are happening down there. This is all fluff from last year. Okay. And the chickens are coming home to roost at this point. All right. So let's see what's going on with S&P 500 technicals and review of past and present stocks in focus, right? And I'm going to start out by Mercado Libre. A lot of it's 2 weeks in a row we've just nailed these trades, and Mercado Libre has more meat on the bone. But I can tell you right now, this bounce off of the 200-day moving average, that type of reaction, we're going to be able to. It's a gift that keeps on giving. See if it can break above or stalls out at 80 MA. That's that green line. You can short this again. All right. I mentioned this. I blocked these out because these are active trades that are going on. But this was mentioned on Thursday, right before, and I said let's get into Mercado Libre 2000. And don't pay more than $1. I don't know if you can see this, $1.85 to $1.97. Some people got it for $1.65, but regardless, we ended up selling these. Some people were selling them at 44. A maximum level we sold it at was $85. That is fantastic trade. You don't have to get all of your trades right, but you have to be able to short those rips. Okay, so here's Mercado Libre. We talked about that, and so I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so let's go into our real technical analysis. Everyone says, why do you only stay with SPY? Because that's where the financials are, and that's the one that's been basically rigged. Here's the daily. Again, we hit the 200-day moving average, went right into that support level and bounced. Okay, now the question is that, we've been closing like this for a few days. Okay, these sharp bounces makes you look like the rescue is in place. It looks like the dip buyers can be profitable again, and what they do is they gap down in the morning and coming down. We have to start touching these 562, and these are the levels that we're talking about. This red demarcated line realistically is the line in the sand. If we break here, and I don't know what's going to do it, I'm just giving you the level. RSI is completely negative. Okay, you look at the stochastic, fully directional. We are kind of in the oversold area, but this is what happens: is these bounces takes it right off the oversold level, and we keep going lower. We have our stochastics at the bottom end of the channel, not so oversold yet. It's just chopping sideways, maybe moves higher. That's what the last hour trading did, and it's going to move it right back down. PPO ADX. So I do want to warn you, These kind of, the crush indicators that are happening, the ones that we talk about this, it's about to form. It's going to get closer before they do that, which is showing you that based on my cycle analysis, we may have like 2 or 3 more weeks of it, but it's not going to go down in a straight line. You got to learn to be able to anticipate these drops and also be able to short the rips. Okay, so accumulation distribution, we kind of broke out a little bit, but we're on a downward slope. And then ATR at its maximum range, when it breaks down from this trend, is when major trend reversals will occur. Okay, so we got that SPY on the weekly. I don't see how you could see this anything but bearish. We have RSI that is declining. Yes, we found a little bit of support, but that is the mechanics of how the bear markets work. Once we break down this red line, which is right around the 553 level, we're going straight down into the 510. These boxes represent levels, and I don't think a lot of you have seen major market crashes, but that is coming, I believe. Mercado Libre, we talked about it. I showed you the chart. This is a gift that keeps on giving. There's more meat on this bone. I'm not going to go more into that. I do want to talk about Apple, though. Apple is what's holding the market, and they're trying to rig the market higher. And but really, if you think about it, Apple is on a downward trend. Okay, and everyone's saying, well, this is a bottoming candle. Well, everyone said this was a bottoming candle. And so this is a bottoming candle also. We're coming right back down. And this is the line in the sand. If we lose 221.50, it's going lower. Okay. So I'm just going to talk about that. And then Apple on the weekly. Okay. So on the week, is that daily? Yeah, I had 2 dailies. Okay, forget it. I'm not going to do it. Let's go to Avagio. Avagio just reported earnings. They're basically channel stuffing. It basically shows increase in revenue at the cost of increasing accounts receivables. They're probably financing their vendors and not getting paid. Okay. On that news, we shorted the rips. And there's a lot of meat on this bone. It's a half recovery. All right. We got all of the RSIs in negative divergences. We have a triangle, and we're below that bottom of the triangle. I think we retest these lower levels. Okay. Okay. So the other thing I want to note on Avagio is that we have a MACD death cross. And it's been diverging down. Now, for brevity's sake, you guys could do more of your analysis on your own, but I'm giving you some ideas to look at. BABA is basically ready to be shorted. It's at the top end of the range. It's a triple top. All right, a lot of black candles. RSI is negative. All right. I think there's going to be some great targets coming in. Here's a 50-day moving average. Here's a 20 SMA. And the MACD is very, very, very bearish. And let's go a little bit further into it. CCI is negative. We do have an attempted recovery on the stochastics. That's just going to roll right over. PPO ADX is bearish. Remember if you've been following me, these patterns are showing you a very, very powerful downward force that is coming. Okay, so accumulation distribution. I mean, it is at the bottom end of the distribution. So whatever report they put on, Avagio is in trouble. We're at the top end of the range for the ATR. I think that's basically a very, very bearish chart for us to be looking at on the BABA. Okay, if I said Avagio, I apologize. I think I said that, but it's BABA. Okay, MicroStrategy. Michael Saylor is in trouble, folks, and I'm telling you right now, couldn't have happened to a better guy. Okay, and in fact, I have a nice during the crypto summit. Picture is worth 1,000 words. There you go, right here. All right. That tells you everything you need to know, because he's probably thinking to himself, oh, crap, I'm doing it again. Oh, no, this time I might, what's going to happen to me? In 1999, he did the same thing with MicroStrategy, going away from their core mission. And now he went to the same thing, trying to transform MicroStrategy into a Bitcoin bank, I believe. And, the thing is, he never bought the dip. And I don't think he's buying the dip right now because he doesn't have the money to do it. Okay, but here's MicroStrategy. Okay, MicroStrategy has been on a downward trend, and now we basically failed off of the long-term downward trend. It's going lower. I think we have a shot at hitting this 200-day moving average and moving much lower. I mean, really, if you look at the breakout level, we're looking at like 168, 150 to 158 level. Okay, I'm getting all excited. All right, pay attention to this one. This is our new Mercado Libre, although I'm still looking at Mercado Libre. Gold and silver, A lot of people said when they saw this big bearish engulfing red candle, oh, that's the top. I said, no, not so fast, folks. I mean, this is just really, if you look at it, it's just a little bear flag. We're moving higher. And as with the dollar losing its dominance and with dollar below the 104.50, yeah, over the next few weeks, I'm telling you, gold is going to melt faces. I'm going to tell you right now, I think we're going to go much higher than 3,500 shortly. Okay. Silver is the same thing. Okay. Oh, this red candle. Oh, what happened here? Oh, you're so full of shit, right? No. This is basically a bull flag. A sideways consolidation. Again, going to melt faces. Silver is going to be more powerful than gold. And that's what we've been basically talking about this whole time, right? All right. I'm consistent. All right. All right. So XRP and Bitcoin, okay, they're under pressure. Okay. It's buying opportunity. For those of you that were crying that you missed the boat and it's staring at you right in the face. I'm not a big Bitcoin fan, but I do believe that Bitcoin is not going away. Here's Bitcoin right now under pressure. Okay. Here's XRP under pressure. All right. Anything below 250 is a bargain. Okay. And XDC, okay. Last chance to pick these up. And this is telling you that a significant market crash is coming. Okay. So this is what they're doing. Bitcoin, again, is beta test coin. As you saw from the reaction of Michael Saylor, I'm going to show you again right here. All right. He knows the jig is up. Okay. Picture is worth 1,000 words. XRP is the real world reserve currency, cross-border payments. All right. If you notice that Brad Garlinghouse was on the right side at the end of the table at the summit, whereas Michael Saylor was four places down from Trump. I don't know. I like to pick up these trends. Okay. You heard the term right-hand man. You never hear the left-hand man. Okay. Trump is a right-leaning president. Michael Saylor is number 4 on to the right. Go look at the video. And then Brad Garlinghouse was 7 to the right at the end, anchoring this entire group. Trump is the 47th president at the moment. Well, yeah, I'm not going to say it. You know what I was going to say, but you just leave it to your imagination. XDC is the real world tokenization of assets. It's not an American token. It's based out of Singapore, but I think they're going to do great things. All right, so in the end, here's the thing. I'm waiting on the auditing Fort Knox. I think they're going to do it to goose the gold prices, to get away from the Fed. It's been very quiet this week. Cryptos are under pressure. Has it bottomed? We don't know. Crypto White House Summit was nothing burger. Watch Michael Saylor's reaction throughout that whole place. And I think there's a picture of him. I'm giving the middle finger to the Winklevoss brothers when he was talking. All right, talk about some desperation. I mean, picture is worth 1,000 words. Markets are under pressure. Is the crash coming? Of course it's coming. Dollar breaks over below 104.50. We're at 103.58, I think. Okay, 10-year yield has also bottomed. The Fed is losing this battle. However, even Trump is telling you straight ahead until September, there's some turbulence coming in the markets. And if you keep buying the dips, you're going to be left out of the dark. Okay, and here's a dollar weakens below 104.50 trade, right, for this week. That's all that matters. 10-year rescued by the Fed has ended. 10-year Treasury yield, okay? It's bottomed. It's going higher. Banks are going to be under pressure. Gold and silver on the verge of a breakout based on the U.S. dollar. World War III narrative continues, but people are beginning to speak out. France is beginning to speak out on Macron's crazy suicidal plans to arm Europe and start World War III. But you know what? They always say, when bankers fail, they take you to war. Crypto slammed as most assets are. White House Nothing Burger contributed to that, but I think there's more sinister stock market moves coming. You buy these dips. We are long gold, silver, VIX, XRP, and XDC. Those of you that's been buying it, when we've been talking about it, you're making a lot of money. Short watch, Win, Avaggio, Mercado Libre, still a lot of meat on this bone. Nvidia, obviously Nvidia. Nvidia is a fraud. SMCI is a fraud. BABA is at the top of the range. If you don't know, China is undergoing deflationary credit collapse and they're introducing liquidity. Every time they do that, you short the tops. Buy enough time. MicroStrategy is in trouble, folks. Look at Michael Saylor right here. Okay, picture is worth 1,000 words. Okay, market top formation continues. Don't be fooled by Friday's last hour close. That's how they've been closing. It's been doing that. All systems go for a crash. By the way, weird stuff happens at daylight savings time transition. So let's see what happens. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Follow me at Twitter. That's where I'm mostly active, but I do post stuff for you on YouTube. I'm going to try to completely get away from YouTube, but at the moment, subscribe and follow me on Galaxydoc Market. And that's where I'm going to continually post all my videos and commentaries and comments, right? Like us, share us, okay? And if you want to learn more about how we're doing this, how our group is doing, okay, we're doing fantastic. Here, you got to email me at coachbrandon at protonmail.com, or you hit me up on WhatsApp. I am Galaxydoc Market, and you can do that way. DM me there, okay? Otherwise, subscribe. Be careful out there. Go buy some XRP. Go buy physical gold. Okay, the market is unraveling. Trump is telling you it's going to happen. Okay, otherwise, have a good day. Get some alpha.